everyone, welcome to our ongoing crash course test series for NEET 2020. I am Dr. Deepa Dahake coming here to boost your preparation for your upcoming exam NEET 2020, and I am here to teach you botany and zoology, or you can say biology, and most of the important topic in these days I will try to complete myself. Okay, so let's start with our next topic for today's session, that is Bryophyta, as we completed the algae and classification of plant kingdom in our last session. So now begins with Bryophyta. When come towards the Bryophyta, or we start with Bryophyta, so one question most of the time you observe for Bryophyta, that is the amphibians of plant kingdom. So here you remember Bryophyta. Bryophyta, when we start, then you remember they are commonly called as amphibians of plant kingdom. So why they are called amphibians of plant kingdom? Because normally they growing on moist surface, but water is essentially required for the process of fertilization, or you remember water is required for the transfer of male gamete, that is antherozoid in case of Bryophyta. So transfer of male gamete from antheridium towards the archegonium. So that's why they are called as amphibians of plant kingdom. Secondly, what members are included in Bryophyta? One of the most important question. Bryophyte includes mainly, you remember, liverworts and mosses are included in Bryophyta. So this thing you remember, liverworts are placed in class Hepaticopsida, and mosses are included under, or the members of class Bryopsida are commonly called as mosses. So here this thing you properly note, because these two terms are not provided. So Hepaticopsida included liverworts and mosses are comes under the Bryopsida. Now we come towards the body organization. So in Bryophyta, when we study about the body organization you remember here the multicellular grade of organization. So body is made up of multiple cells, but tissues are not developed in this division or this group of plantae. So multicellular body. Secondly, body, you remember body is thalloid. Again, now you clear what is thallus. When the body is not differentiated into root, stem, leaf, then the body is called as thallus. So that thalloid body is present here, and after that, instead of root, the root-like structures are present. These root-like structures are called as rhizoids. So rhizoids are present for the absorption of water and mineral, as well as for anchoring the thallus in soil. So these are some general points regarding Bryophyta. One most important point for Bryophyta, you remember, the main body of Bryophyta. The main body of Bryophyta, that means again main body का meaning last class से clear है. When you observe the Bryophyta in nature, so whatever body or structure is appear, that is called as main body. The main body is gametophyte. Gametophytes are always haploid. So here you remember this haploid main body is gametophyte, and in Bryophyta gametophyte is free living. This thing you note down properly. The free living gametophyte is an identical feature of the Bryophyta, because the gametophytic and sporophytic generation से related questions are asked repeatedly. Now first we study about the structural organization, or we study about thallus organization. Mostly habitat, you remember, they always present near the sources of water, because for fertilization they dependent on water, and this is the reason that Bryophyta are limited in distribution. They are not present in every kind of habitats. They are only restricted to certain habitat where the water is available for the fertilization. So reason for the limited distribution of Bryophyta, you remember, they required water for the transfer of male gamete towards female gamete at the time of fertilization. Now when we come about to study about the thallus structure, so thallus structure you remember, thallus में जब आप study कर रहे हैं, so here you remember thallus आपका यहाँ पे कैसे basically in liverworts, clear है? When we study about the thallus organization for liverworts show the dorsiventral thallus. That means the thallus is flat at, dorsiventrally flat thallus. That is, the thallus is flat at both the surface, or you can imagine carpet-like structure which is a flat at dorsal surface as well as ventral surface. So both the surfaces are flat. Secondly, lower surface is in touch with the soil and upper surface. So upper surface, remember, show the following features. The upper surface of thallus, first show a prominent midrib is present. Secondly, the growing point of the thallus is denoted at apical notch. And third, you remember, this one is most important in case of only liverworts. This structure, whatever we study, that is we study mainly for the liverworts. So the presence of gamma cup as a vegetative body. So gamma cup, you remember, gamma cup also you appear on the upper surface of the thallus. And these gamma cup, you remember, gamma cup कहाँ present होंगे? These gamma cups are present on midrib. Specifically, if the species or genus wise question if asked, then you remember gamma cup is an identical feature of Markensia. Again, you go through the diagrammatic part of NCERT. So two thallus of Markensia are provided. Markensia, you remember, monoecious है आपके. Therefore, male thallus of Markensia and female thallus of Markensia are differ means they are distinctly or separately present, and gamma cup are located on the midrib of the each thallus, whether the thallus is male or female thallus. Okay, so upper surface show these features, and if we come towards the lower surface, the surface which is present towards the soil or above the soil, that lower surface, you remember, it shows first root-like structure. Again, you remember one most important feature or statement, recall करके रखिए, or you note down that or underline that statement of NCERT that the Bryophyta show root-like, stem-like and leaf-like structure, but true roots, true stem and true leaves are completely absent. So this thing you remember. So lower surface show root-like, rhizoid. So rhizoid, you remember, they are the hair-like and root-like structure responsible for, किस लिए responsible होंगे? They are responsible for the absorption of mineral and water. And in addition to rhizoids, the multicellular scales are present. So scales, and scales whenever present, scales are multicellular structure. So this thing you remember, scales only provide help to anchoring the thallus. So this part you remember for the thallus. Now if we study about or observe the dorsiventral structure, means that thallus is only growing in forward direction, as well as it is a flat at both the side and a clear cut midrib is present. This is the uppermost surface of the thallus. Midrib is appear. Over the midrib, cup-shaped structures are present. These cup-shaped structures, you remember, these cup-shaped structures are called as gamma cup. And at the tip of the thallus, because see, tissues are not developed in Bryophyta, the development of tissue in plant kingdom is begins from Pteridophyta. तो Pteridophyta से आप पढ़ते हैं tissue grade of organization और tissue development is begin. So up to Bryophyta, body is only made up of multicellular, and growth जो appear होगा thallus में, that growth you remember is appeared by a group of cell. That group of cell represent the apical notch. So this apical notch is responsible for growth of the thallus, or at the time of reproduction, this apical notch will result in the formation of N3DO4 or archegoniophore. ये आप बाद में पढ़ते हैं कि what is N3DO4 and archegoniophore. If you go through the diagrams of your NCERT book, so you observe this kind of structure over there, and either two different diagrams are provided. So this type of structure is provided. So here you remember, suppose this is a male thallus. So in case of male thallus of Mertensia, this stalk is called as N3DO4 and it bears male reproductive organ N3dium at the apex. Clear? So the stalk develop from apical notch, upright or erect. If it develop N3dium, then the stalk is called as N3DO4. Now when we appear the lower surface of the thallus, so at the lower surface of thallus, you remember, generally this is only one part of thallus I draw here. So generally the midrib is also present on the lower surface, but it is not too much conspicuous or clearly visible, because towards the both side of midrib a row of rhizoids are present. Now in liverworts और hepatic opsida और Mertensia आप याद रखिएगा, liverworts अगर आप स्टडी कर रहे हैं, ये स्ट्रक्चर आपको liverworts में मिलते हैं, बिकॉज जो मॉसेज हैं वहां पर आपको लीफ लाइक स्ट्रक्चर एंड स्टेम लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स आर स्टार्ट टू बी appear. 1-2 diagrams are provided for mosses. The one diagram for Funaria and another diagram for Sphagnum. So Funaria and Sphagnum, you remember, two example for the class Bryopsida, और commonly आपके level पे आप कह रहे हैं उनको mosses. So here you remember the row of rhizoids are appear at the lower surface of the thallus, and in hepatic opsida these rhizoids are unicellular. One basic difference between the rhizoids of hepatic opsida or rhizoids of liverwort and mosses. In liverworts rhizoids are unicellular structure, and in mosses rhizoids कैसे structure है आपके multicellular structure होते हैं, and sometimes these rhizoids branch also. So this part you remember, this is a general and very simple structure, body organization of thallus in case of Bryophyta. This part is clear to all. Okay. Now we come towards the internal structure. Structure of thallus is actually not provided. So here first one by one we study the types of rhizoid. What is rhizoid? Two types of rhizoid, and then we come towards the internal organization of thallus. So for this part, clear? You remember that the group Bryophyta, commonly called amphibians of plant kingdom. Two groups we included or divisions we included in Bryophyta, that is liverworts and mosses. Secondly, in liverworts body of thallus कैसे होगा आपका flat, dorsiventrally flat, and it shows the midrib. In case of Mertensia or hepatic opsida, you remember vegetative organ or perinating organs are present, that is called as gamma cup. So gamma cup, you remember, these are the cup shaped structure, that was the gamma cup. So I think this part is quite simple and clear to all. And now we come towards the rhizoids. When we study about rhizoid, the two types of rhizoid are present in Bryophyta, smooth walled rhizoid as well as so in Bryophyta. Now we study about rhizoids. So rhizoids means they are not a root, but they are root-like structures. With all these characters, you also study how the evolution proceed in kingdom Plantae, and from simple members of the algae, gradually the development of complex bodies of gymnosperm and angiosperm take place. So root-like structure, and these rhizoids are of two types on the basis of their organization, unicellular or rhizoids and multicellular, plus they are called as smooth walled rhizoid and the second category is called as tuberculate rhizoid. Now smooth walled means when both the walls of rhizoid, that is the inner wall and outer wall, when both the walls of rhizoid are smooth in structure, then the rhizoid is called as smooth walled. And tuberculated rhizoid, when the inner wall of rhizoid show the finger like projections, or it is also called as interdigitations. Interdigitations के through क्या होगा, the surface area is increases for a mineral and water absorption. So these type of interdigitations or finger like projections are present, then the rhizoids are called as tuberculate rhizoid. Both the kind of rhizoid, either unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular rhizoids, you remember, present in liverworts. Again I repeat, because these are the some points which skip by the children, because they are while reading they read it but they can't remember the statement properly. So for that आप याद रखिए कि rhizoids, unicellular rhizoids are present in liverworts and mosses show the multicellular rhizoid. So this structure you remember for rhizoid, and then you observe how the internal structure of thallus is present. So in internal structure of thallus, only two zones are present. These two zones are made up of multicellular organization or multiple cells responsible for two zones. One upper zone is photosynthetic zone, where the cells are showing the presence of chloroplast and they are responsible for the formation of food by photosynthesis. The second zone, from where the rhizoid and scales are formed, that zone is called as storage zone. Clear? In photosynthetic zones, cells show the regular arrangement, as well as you remember the cells of photosynthetic zone somewhat show the intercellular space, but in storage zone cells are quite compactly arranged, as well as they are arranged irregularly because of that intercellular space. Only for explanation purpose, I draw two layers in photosynthetic zone. Otherwise, the photosynthetic zone is 8 to 10 layer in thickness, and then it is followed by irregularly arranged as well as compactly placed cells. These irregular and compactly placed cells, you remember, are responsible for the formation of storage zone. So these zones are there. Suppose the photosynthetic zone represent A and storage zone represent B. So in thallus organization, this is the A part and this is the B part, that is the storage zone. And from the storage zone, either the smooth walled rhizoid or tuberculate rhizoids are produced. But all the rhizoid in case of liverworts, again I use the same statement that all the rhizoids in case of liverworts are unicellular, and at the same time some of the multicellular scales are present, and these scales, you remember, responsible for anchoring the thallus in soil. So this is a scale and this is our rhizoid. So simplest structure internally represented by the thallus of liverworts or thallus of bryophyta, you remember. Clear? Now when we study about the thallus structure or body organization in mosses, so mosses में यहाँ पर आप appear करिएगा. Two diagrams are provided. This most important diagram of NCERT for this, because biology purpose you go only for, if you want to score maximum marks, then you only read thoroughly the NCERT. So this structure, and at this place this type of structure is provided here. Here this part is called as gametophyte. Leaf-like structures are present, but these are not the leaves. So gametophyte again कैसे होंगे आपके? Haploid structure. Main body of Bryophyta is gametophyte. Upon fertilization, zygote will develop into another generation, diploid generation. That diploid generation is called as sporophyte. Sporophyte show this part, that is a capsule. Food, seta and capsules are actually there, but food is always present inside the gametophyte. So that's why we only appear the two parts of the sporophyte, that is seta and capsule. This diagram is for the structure of Funaria, and one another diagram is provided, that somewhat I just draw here a very rough sketch of that diagram. The true stems are not present, but leaf-like structures are arranged spirally. So the stem-like structures are developed here, and this type of branches you appear, but they are again not branches because true structure are absent. Again the leaf-like structures are arranged in this way spirally. So leaf-like structures. So here you remember this diagram is provided for the sphagnum. स्फेगनम में जब आप पढ़ेंगे तो स्फेगनम यू रिमेम्बर, स्फेगनम का प्लांट देखिएगा ऑब्जेक्टिव पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू के लिए, ठीक है. व्हेन यू ऑब्जर्व द बॉडी ऑफ स्फेगनम, द वन ब्रांच इज शोइंग द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ एंथ्रीडियम. एंथ्रीडियम इज फॉर्मिंग ऑन द वन ब्रांच, दैट मीन्स द वन इज फीमेल इक्विवेलेंट टू द मेल ब्रांच, कॉमन टर्म्स में याद रखिएगा. And the another branches are responsible for the development of archegonium. Female reproductive organ in Bryophyta is called as archegonium. So archegonium develop होंगे. Archegonium is equivalent to female branch. So the thallus यहाँ पे जो है leafy thallus हो गए यहाँ पे, और leaf like thallus is present in case of mosses. So thallus in sphagnum, this part clearly keep in mind. स्फेगनम का जो प्लांट बॉडी है, क्लियर, दैट इज मोनोशियस और यू कैन से बाइसेक्सुअल. क्लियर. सो इट इज मोनोशियस और बाइसेक्सुअल. सो स्फेगनम प्लांट और स्फेगनम थैलस इज मोनोशियस. क्लियर. बट इट प्रोड्यूसेस unisexual branches. So the reproductive organs are produced separately on male and female shoots or branches. That's why you remember the plant or the thallus of sphagnum is a bisexual or monoecious, but when it start to produce the reproductive organs, so both the reproductive organs are produced on different branches. So reproductive shoot, not true shoots, but they are the resembles with shoot like structure. So reproductive shoots are again कैसे होंगे यहाँ पर? Unisexual. This diagram is most important, so you go through your book and recall this diagram. These A and B के फॉर्म में आपका आया है कि what is represented or what is to be showing in A and B. So A, if it is for this part, so A is a gametophyte and this part of the diagram B. So B आपका क्या शो करेगा? B is showing for the sporophyte. So this part you remember, comparatively thallus of the thallus of the Mertensia thallus or the thallus of liverworts or Hepaticopsida, these thallus are more advanced because here mosses में क्या develop हो गए आपके? root like, stem like and leaf like structures are developed. So this is all about the thallus organization of Bryophyta. Now we come towards the reproduction in Bryophyta. Mainly in plants, asexual reproduction is replaced by the vegetative reproduction. So from onward, Bryophyta onward, whenever we study about the reproduction, so reproduction only two types से आप study करेंगे, vegetative reproduction as well as sexual reproduction. So in Bryophyta reproduction में आप देखिए vegetative reproduction force, vegetative reproduction again in liverworts, as well as vegetative reproduction in mosses. Clear? Here remember, in liverworts vegetative reproduction is take place by gamma cup, and in mosses it is take place by fragmentation and budding in protonema. What is protonema? That we will study when we discuss about the mosses. But for this point you remember, in mosses the fragmentation as well as budding in protonema are the method for the vegetative reproduction, whereas in liverworts gamma cups are produced. Now the sexual reproductions we study, or first we discuss about the gamma cup. Protonema formation we separately study in mosses during the life cycle. So gamma cup you remember, now ये clear है. This is the thallus. Over the thallus midrib is present, and this midrib you remember show the structure of one gamma cup. When we observe this structure gamma cup in under microscope, so gamma cup you remember these are the cup shaped structure, multicellular structure. So only I draw few cells here. That number multiple cells are present, and inside this gamma cup, so this is a cup shaped structure, that is gamma cup. Gamma cups are start to form during the favorable condition, and inside this cup shaped structure stalked gamete are present. So stalked or receptacles, with receptacles a number of stalked structures are present. These structures are called as gamete. Individually if you observe the structure of gamete, so each gamete is appear like this. It show the presence of multicellular stalk and multicellular, the entire body is showing the presence of multiple cells. So multicellular body is present. Again exactly in the center of the body apical notch or the point of growth is present in gamete. Every gamete show the apical notch, because apical notch is the point from where the growth of the thallus begins. Clear it? So these bodies are formed on the thallus during favorable condition, that is when the limited amount of moisture or sufficient amount of moisture is present in the soil. As the summer season begins, moisture content of the soil gradually decreases. Thallus आपका क्या होने लगेगा? Gradually dry, and gamma cup detach from the thallus और surrounding habitats may remain present as it is. तो soil में, dry soil में gamma cup remain as it is. After once the summer is over and rainy season return back, that means the favorable conditions are returned back. Then the gamma cup are filled with water. Gamete detached in gamma cup, and with runaway water gamete reaches to the new habitat, and with the help of apical notch ये germinate होंगे, and upon germination they will result in the formation of new thallus. So this part you remember for the formation of gamma cup as well as for the formation of new thallus by the germination of gamete. Now the second part we study for reproduction, that is the sexual reproduction in Bryophyta. Sexual reproduction in Bryophyta जब आप study कर रहे हैं तो advanced type of reproduction और oogamous type of reproduction you remember here. And secondly in Bryophyta, sexual reproduction, during sexual reproduction the male and female reproductive organs are formed. So male reproductive organ of Bryophyta is called as antheridium, and the female reproductive organ is called archegonium. New term. Clear? Antheridium is a globose structure. If you appear the structure of thallus, very short diagram I draw here. Clear? If you appear the structure of thallus, suppose this is a male thallus, so from apical notch one stalk is developed. That stalk I earlier mentioned, that stalk is called as antheridiophore, and over this antheridiophore male reproductive organs antheridium are formed. If we appear the structure of antheridium under microscope, So antheridium in Bryophyta is a globose structure or spherical structure. Secondly, it has a stalk, multicellular stalk, and this multicellular stalk is actually called as N3DO4. So this is stalk N3DO4. Stalk किससे अटैच होगा? Stalk is attached with the main plant body. That is the main plant body is gametophyte. Clear? Or thallus, you remember. Inside the antheridium, a large number of cells are produced. All these cells are called as antherozoid mother cell. Now this part is important, so quite pay attention on this point, part. The gametophyte, this is the thallus. Main body आपने क्या लिखा है? The main body of thallus is haploid. That means gametophyte in terms of chromosome number is haploid. ये clear है? When this haploid structure develop N3DO4, so N3DO4 itself haploid. Antheridium आपका develop हुआ है. This antheridium also haploid. And then whatever antheridial mother cell, because in higher plants, humans, gametocytes whenever you study, so gametocytes in higher plants, in humans, animals are always कैसे हैं आपके पास? Gamete producing cell in higher plants are diploid, so that undergoes in meiosis. But in case of Bryophyta, as we study in last class और लास्ट सेशन में आपने किसके लिए स्टडी किया है? एल्गी के लिए. गैमीट प्रोड्यूसिंग सेल्स जो होंगे वो हमेशा कैसे हैं? हैप्लॉइड, बिकॉज द प्लांट बॉडी इज हैप्लॉइड एंड दैट्स व्हाई दिस प्लांट बॉडी प्रोड्यूसेस अ गैमीट डायरेक्टली, सो इट इज कॉल्ड एज गैमेटोफाइट. सो दीज आर द एंथ्रीडियल मदर सेल. These antheridial mother cell, you remember, these antheridial mother cells are haploid in structure, and directly antheridial mother cells responsible for the production of biflagellate antherozoid. So again, water is essential for fertilization. आप कह रहे हैं, that means the male gametes कैसे होंगे? Male gametes are flagellated. So here you remember in Bryophyta, male gametes are biflagellate. First thing you remember. And secondly, the male gametes are called as antherozoid. As a rule, male gametes और gametes हमेशा कैसे होंगे आपके? Haploid. So one thing again you remember, gametes are always haploid. Zygote is always diploid, but parent body may be haploid or diploid. So in case of Bryophyta, parent body और plant body कैसे है आपके पास? Haploid है. Now we come towards the Archegonium. Archegonium also similar to Antheridium. कहाँ पे develop होंगे? They are also develop on the Antheridium, similar to Antheridium. Archegonium is also develop on main plant body or on the thallus. Suppose this is a thallus, Archegonium 4, and then the Archegonium is developed. If you study the detailed structure of Archegonium provided in literature that it is a flask shaped structure, and secondly it is consist of two parts. The lower bulbous part is called as venter, and the upper slender and narrow part is called as neck. So Archegonium is consist of neck, and this part is called as venter. Venter के part में number of years before question is asked for the position of egg cell. Egg cell is always present at the base of venter. This cell is called as venter canal cell, or VCC you can write in small. So this is a venter canal cell. Neck is closed by number of neck cells. The number of neck cells or neck canal cell is another identifying feature for the bryophytes. Venter canal cell, and this is a egg nucleus or egg, and both these structure combined होके bulbous portion का formation करते हैं, that is a venter. So this structure you remember for the Archegonium. Clear है? So male and female Markensia में आपका diagram दिया है. So in Markensia, male thallus show the formation of antheridium, and female thallus किसका formation show करेंगे? Female thallus show the formation of what formation? Formation of the Archegonium, और Archegonium किसका क्या है आपका? Female gametophyte. So this part is clear. So sexual reproduction, mainly you remember two reproductive organs. Antheridium is male and Archegonium is female. Now when the antheridium is mature, in this diagram itself we study the process of fertilization. So I draw all these parts only. ठीक है, bring these two diagrams. So when the antheridial mother cell will develop into the large number of antherozoid, this antheridium get burst, and through this antheridium a large number of antherozoids are releases in water. Clear? And with the help of water current, this antherozoids are reaches towards the archegonium. समझ में आ रहा है? The antherozoid with the help of water reaches towards the archegonium. Now what is a spatial phenomena or what is a spatial feature due to which the particular species के जो antherozoids होंगे they only reaches towards the archegonium. तो इस पार्ट में याद रखिएगा when the plenty of water is there, so small amount of water is reaches into ventral canal cell. Ventral canal cell absorb that water and get convert into mucilaginous mass, and slowly it start to move towards the upward direction. So this mucilaginous mass of ventral canal cell comes out, break the neck cells, and certain chemicals are present. These chemicals आके dissolve कहाँ पे होंगे? In surrounding water. These chemicals which are releases from the ventral canal cell, this chemical is mainly responsible for attracting the male gamete antherozoid. So antherozoid are reaches towards the mouth of antherozoid, and at a time number of antherozoids are enter, but only one antherozoid or one male gamete comes in contact with the egg cell and fertilization will proceed. Upon fertilization, the egg nucleus and antherozoid nucleus will fuse, and upon fusion, अब देखिए यहाँ पे क्या फॉर्म हो गया? Inside the archegonium itself, zygote is formed. Clear है? Archegonium कहाँ पे था? Archegonium is present on the main plant body, that is a female thallus. So zygote is also formed on the female thallus. So here you remember जो zygote है, this is a diploid generation, and from this zygote now the sporophytic generation begins. The sporophyte of bryophyta, you remember, in bryophyte, sporophyte is always dependent on main plant body or gametophyte. So gametophyte is free living, and sporophyte, you remember, sporophyte depend किसके ऊपर होगा? Sporophyte is dependent on the gametophyte, and for this statement you remember the diagram of funaria. So you never be confused because sporophyte का जो capsule है, that capsule of sporophyte attached किससे? funaria के diagram में leafy shoot like structures के through, that is the gametophyte. Now देखिए processes after formation of zygote. The zygote is formed. That means in bryophyta now we study about the sporophytic generation. In sporophytic generation, zygote represent first stage. This zygote in bryophyta, देखिए लास्ट इसमें क्लास में सेशन में एल्गी के क्लास में कहा था आपको कि in algae zygote never undergoes in resting period. Immediately in algae zygote divided by meiosis, but in bryophyta zygote first undergoes in mitosis, and due to mitosis zygote will result into a multicellular structure, diploid structure, multicellular diploid structure. This multicellular diploid structure you remember called as sporophyte. So zygote directly not undergoes in meiosis, first it undergoes in mitosis in case of bryophyta, and after that it will lead to the formation of sporophyte. Sporophyte आप यहाँ पे याद रखिए, sporophyte is a complex structure and it is consist of foot, seta and capsule. So foot is present inside the gametophyte, seta is a slender stalk, and third part you remember capsule. Capsule is the part of sporophyte where, so simple structure if you appear, this is the gametophyte. From this gametophyte one seta is developed, and in Marchantia the capsule is a globose structure. This is the seta. Foot is present inside the main body. Capsule में अब आप याद रखिएगा, inside the capsule the spore mother cell, some of, because capsule entire sporophyte structure कैसे है आपका? Diploid. So inside the capsule spore producing cells are there. The spore producing cells of the capsule are called as spore mother cell. These spore mother cell or diploid cells now undergoes in meiosis. So these are the sporocyte cells. These sporocyte cells now inside the capsule undergoes in meiosis, and upon meiosis they will lead to the production of haploid spores. So inside, why it is called sporocyte? Because sporophyte, because this generation or diploid generation of sporophyte inside the capsule responsible for the formation of spores. Spores meiosis के through produce होते हैं, that's why they are the haploid spore. So if you observe the structure of mature capsule, so in mature capsule this type of structure you appear, that is the 4 spores are present, as well as some fibrous bands are also present in some of the capsule. These fibrous spoon-like structures are called as elaters. Elaters are mainly play a significant role in the dispersal of spore. तो ये आप याद रखिएगा, this is for the sporophyte. So zygote divide by mitosis produces a sporophyte. Sporophyte is consist of food, seta and capsule. Inside the capsule spore mother cells present होते हैं. These cells are diploid, undergoes in meiosis, and upon meiosis spores are produces. These spores releases from the capsule and germinate होके किसका formation करेंगे? They will germinate to produce a new thallus or new body, gametophytic body of the bryophyta. So this is all about the general introduction of bryophyta. Now when we study about the liverworts and mosses, तो liverworts and mosses में आप देखिएगा, liverworts and mosses, if you appear the thallus, thallus is dorsiventrally flat, and here the thallus किसके फॉर्म में? leafy. Thallus is present in mosses. One difference for rhizoid is present. So rhizoid in liverworts are unicellular, whereas in mosses rhizoids are branched and multicellular. Clear? After that you study about, ये part clear है? When we study about the liverworts, so thallus not showing any leaf-like, root-like or stem-like structure, but these structures are present in mosses, root-like, leaf-like and stem-like structure. liverworts में vegetative reproduction already study कर चुके हैं आप. Vegetative reproduction by gamma cup है यहाँ पे, whereas in mosses vegetative reproduction is take place by fission and fragmentation of protonema. So simply protonema you remember here, the fission and budding and fragmentation of protonema is responsible for vegetative reproduction. The sexual reproductive organs, male and female organs are similar in both. The difference यहाँ पे क्या है? Meiospores or spores germinate, releases from capsule, germinate, and upon germinate they produces a gametophyte or thallus-like body को formation करते हैं. But in mosses, if you go through the literature or text of the mosses, mosses में लिखा है mosses show 2 stages in its life cycle. One is a filamentous stage and second is a leafy stage. Filamentous stage is called as protonema. So that you remember what is protonema. Protonema is a filamentous stage of mosses, that is the spores releases from the capsule, and after that ये जो spores है, these spores get germinate, and upon germination they produces a filamentous structure. This filamentous structure is called as protonema. Protonema initially when unbranched it is called primary. Primary protonema branched होके किसको produce करेंगे? Secondary protonema. And after that this protonema is lead to the development of leafy gametophyte or main plant body of the mosses. One another important feature of the mosses is that sporophyte structure is quite elaborate, excessively elaborate structure. So this is not possible to complete that structure in our crash course series. So for the structure of funaria, funaria का mosses में basically structure पढ़ते हैं. So only for objective purpose you remember, in mosses sporophytes show the special mechanism of spore dispersal. That is why, because the sporophytes show 32, ये क्वेश्चन आपको मिलेगा आप अगर लास्ट ईयर के क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करेंगे. 32 पेरिस्टोम teeth like structures are present. These 32 peristome are divided into epistome, that is 16 upper and 16 lower. They are not teeth, they are the teeth like structure which closes the mouth or operculum of the sporophyte. So objective purpose के लिए आप याद रखिएगा 16 hypostome and 16 epistome closes the operculum of sporophyte and totally 32 peristome आप याद रखते हैं. So this is the specific feature of the capsule of mosses, that is the mouth of capsule is closed by the 32 peristome teeth. Clear है. Second, economic important के point में याद रखिए bryophyte only prevent the soil erosion. Secondly, mosses are one of the serial community in the ecosystem development, or they play significant role in the succession of ecosystem. Sphagnum के लिए आप specifically objective purpose के लिए याद रखिएगा that sphagnum is commonly called as peat moss, and secondly this sphagnum or peat is excessively having a water absorption capacity. Because of that, the peat moss or sphagnum is used for shipment transport of the living organism. So this is all about for the bryophyta. Life cycle we study, then we study about the types of life cycle in bryophyta and pteridophyta. Diplohaplontic और haplodiplontic life cycles के type पढ़ते हैं. Then we will again one time discuss the what kind of life cycle is present in bryophyta. So I hope you all understand this topic, today's topic, that is bryophyta. Mainly go through the thallus organization, rhizoid structure को recall करिएगा, sporophyte and whether the sporophyte is dependent. So sporophyte you remember in bryophyta main plant body is gametophyte. This is haploid body and the sporophyte of bryophyta depend किसके ऊपर है? Sporophyte in bryophyte dependent on the main plant body, that is a gametophyte. ठीक है. So this is all for today. Keep in connect with our channel and subscribe the channel. Press the bell icon so you get notified every day with 2 latest episodes. Thank you and have a nice day.